Good morning. Just a quick update on a few things that's been released over the week about the laws here in Queensland. But first off, I'd just like to give you a bit of background on our Premier, and this you might understand his problems in governing. Now, he went to Duntroon, the academy that makes the officers big and brave for the army, and whether some people say they've been brainwashed, but I'm not saying that. Now, the Duntroon gave the nickname to our illustrious Premier, Campbell, of Noddy. So from now on, he would be referred to as Major Noddy. Now, the first report from that illustrious place on Major Noddy stated he occasionally displayed a lack of confidence which manifested itself in a misappreciation of how to tackle a problem. Right, well, that just rings a bell, doesn't it, folks? So there's one little item that does tend to crack me up a bit. The second attempts on that problem, he showed vast improvement. Now, I don't know whether that means we actually got something to look forward to or what. He also struggled when put in charge of people and was warned by his hierarchy, which means the big knobs down at Duntroon, not to be so abrasive and distant as a leader. Well, I think we can put a few things into perspective there. He's not really going too good, especially when I think he graduated from Duntroon in 83 or 84. The next report, but there were questions on his decision making and interpersonal skill. Yes, I can actually relate to that. He might be really good with politicians, but to us normal citizens, to sum it up, he sucks. On graduation though, now this is the interesting part. On graduation, Duntroon stated, now this is when he goes out to the units and becomes a leader amongst men. They stated on that, and this went with him to his new unit, he displayed a lack of confidence which manifested itself in how to tackle a problem. It's been a long time, Major Noddy. So really you haven't come very far. Right, now they are from reports from Duntroon. However, I'd just like to read a bit that's come up in the paper in the last few days. It's quite interesting. Now this is written from a couple of prominent people here in Queensland. From Gary Crook and Tony Fitzgerald, who are responsible for the Fitzgerald inquiry. They stated, politicians who cynically misuse the power of the state for personal or political benefit are a greater, far greater threat to democracy than are criminals. almost all politicians who care only for power and who regard both democracy and ordinary people with contempt claim also to represent and speak for those ordinary people. Politicians also commonly manipulate and exploit the same ordinary people. Long-established tactics include populist propaganda. Whoa, the bikies are killing people. They're fighting amongst the people. Appeals to ignorance, emotion, fear, and prejudice. Untestable claims to know and achievable promises to provide what ordinary people want. This seems very, very familiar. There's no doubt about it. Crises are manufactured and exaggerated and used to justify immediate action and increased state power. Boy, have we seen this. Law and order is a favourite issue with ambitious Queensland politicians seeking publicity and political advantage. Now, I'm reading this direct from the guys who wrote the Fitzgerald Inquiry. So they're not just anybody. They're not associated with bikies. They haven't been grabbed by a union personnel like they are bringing up, the politicians are bringing up now. A few months ago, the imminent release of a pedophile led to the government enacting 2 criminal amendments which were patently invalid. At about the same time, the so-called bikie brawl and brought the government down with a crisis. Outlaw bikies and other organised crimes have been around for years. And it is suggested publicly, these figures are publicly available to anyone, is less than 1% of the Gold Coast crime. Nevertheless, now remember these 2 guys are writing this, that brawl was used to justify ill-considered, rushed, badly drafted and eventually controversial legislation targeted bikies. Over the same period, the government transformed the Crime and Misconduct Commission from a watchdog to a lapdog. So it is quite incredible. They also go on to state about the solitary confinement. It's not democratic. It's those primitive punishment theories from the past based on the fallacy that state brutality and cruelty will deter crime has long been discredited and abandoned. Not in Queensland, it seems. Look at the people. Look at the families that are suffering from this. Everybody is up on arms or up in arms about this legislation. whichever party is in government and whatever its motive, every abuse or misuse of power is profoundly wrong, and every injustice in our name affects us all and diminishes us as a society. This is well worth reading, this part, and I implore everybody to read it right through. It is a really, really good. It's abuse of power, does nothing to protect us, and it's from the drum. Now, the other thing I can say, and I believe personally, we need one voice to fight this. We need someone like Luke, who organised the freedom rallies and got behind every state to get out there and go for it. Unless we come as one voice, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. Organised riots, yeah, go for it, you know, and just rock up. Don't tell anybody where we're going, don't tell how many it's going to be, because businesses are suffering. We've got to get out there and ride our bikes, guys and girls, brothers and sisters. It's that simple. We have to support the businesses we supported before. Well, thank you very much for listening. Oh, by the way, I couldn't find anything on our Attorney General. Where he came from, what, I don't know what cabbage he came from under. But I will keep digging. But Major Noddy, watch out. Your time is coming to a close. Thank you.